As part of a previous installation, we did install a web server, and we will now configure that. First thing to do is somewhere on your machine, create a new folder. I'll call my one web, and that's where we're going to store our web pages. We're also going to create a second intranet, so we'll make a new folder inside here and we'll call it private, that only our users are going to create into. I will create a simple page in each case to display it. I'm just going to use Notepad. I'll quickly type up a web page and then we'll save it. There we have the code. Not the most spectacular of web pages, but it will do for the moment. And we now need to save it into that web folder. And the important thing is we save it not as a text document, but with the extension .htm or HTML. And to make things easier for us, we'll call it index.html, and we'll save it in that folder. Then we'll modify the code and save it into the second folder. So there, I've modified the code. Save as once more, and this time we'll put it inside the private folder, and again all files index.html. Save. So there's the files in the folder ready for us to use. We'll head across to our administrative tools. Find the one called Internet Information Services, IIS Manager. And when we open up the branches, we will find the default website is there. What we want to do is stop the default website. We don't want a clash on port 80. And we'll create a new site. Add a website. We'll give it a name. And we'll point it to the web folder on C drive. I'll say OK. We're going to listen in all IP addresses, both the external and the internal, but there is a choice of having it on one particular address if you want. And you'll notice it says start the website immediately. And there's the website running. We've actually got two websites. We've got the main one and we've got the private folder. For the private folder one, what we want to do is find the one that says authentication. We will disable anonymous access because that allows everyone in, and enable the Windows authentication we asked for earlier. You'll notice the default document option. I have already chosen the name index.html, and it's one of the options that's in there. If you hadn't called it one of these names, you can add and put your name in. You'll also see that Windows suggests you take index.html and you move it to the top of the list so that it finds it easier. So we'll do that for the website. I'll also do it for the private website. It's there. And we should now be ready to fire up the client machine once more and see our website in action. So on my browser, I can type in either the IP address or the name of the machine. And the web page has appeared. If I try to get to the private area, at that point it asks me for a username and password. And that lets me into the private area.